Welcome back to Kid Cardboard Part 2 Orc Shield. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the metal and how to do the solder and make it look all cool. Let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, I cut out the piece and I scored it because it's not going all the way through. So now I'm gonna glue put some glue on this side and this side, and then push it down in the right spot so these lines here line up a little bit with these lines. So let's put some glue on it. Okay, so line up the tip with the tip, bottom with the bottom, and press it on at the angle so that it glues down at the angle. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so then there are some other details, like, I don't know if you can quite see them, but on the shield, on the part that is raised right there, there's a little dot and some other dots, and those are bolts and welding. So we will put some bolts and welding onto our shield. So what I'm using for bolts are little half circles. So they're like little half balls and they fit perfectly. So I have a couple of those. You can use whatever you want. You can do a dab of hot glue, just put a little dab on there, or you can cut a little circle in half or put a bead on it. So I have two little circles, so I'll put one right here, and then I'll put another right here. Okay, so let's get those glued. Put a little dab of hot glue. So now that those are glued, we can add some welding. Welding is the fun part. You don't actually need a welder to weld onto the cardboard. You can use hot glue. So hot glue, it dries, and when you put it into a design, it dries in the design that you have it in. So I'm gonna add a little bit along this line, maybe put some on the tip, make it look like the tip's welded. Just go up and down a little bit. put some right by the buttons. You can really play around with it and put it however you want. It doesn't have to look perfect. There we go. I don't know if you can quite see that, but I put some on the tip. I put some around the buttons. I got some on there. Put some up there. And then you can even add some all over the shield if you want to. But for right now, I'm just going to stick with right there. And you can put it right on the edges of it so it looks like it's welded on. And then when we paint it, we can make it look like weld. Pretty cool. So I'll let that dry and then we can paint it. Okay, so now we're gonna add the handles onto the back. So that's my arm. So what you'll want to do is put your arm on it and then mark where your hand is and where a couple inches from your elbow. So I will want to put a strap right here, and right here, right here, and right here. Okay, so first, for the first strap, we'll need some cardboard, obviously. Some cardboard. Okay, so you want to cut a strip for this part right here, about an inch thick. All the way, a nice big long strip, all the way down. And then you can, if you have a part that's like a little triangle, you can cut that off. And then you'll want to cut a nice big section. So now, how are we going to turn this into a strap? There are the bumps on the inside of the cardboard. You want to bend towards the way that the bumps are going. So the bumps are going that way, down. You want to bend like along the bumps. Because if you bend the opposite direction, see the bumps are going down that. It's a little hard to see, but the bumps are going down that way. Because of those lines, if you bend the way the bumps are going, it doesn't quite turn out and it gets a little squished. But this piece is good because you're bending the correct way. So you'll want to bend that all the way down. Make sure it's nice and bendy. And then can make a little section about an inch again on each side where you'll put hot glue. Then you'll have a nice arch. So, for our first one, put it right here. So I'll put a bit of hot glue on there. Okay, so we have some hot glue on there. And I'll stick it down. And then I'll put a little bit of hot glue on the other side. Now, we have a nice, good handle. So, let's see if it fits. Da-na-na-na-na. That fits perfect. Now, we just need the hand part. Okay, so we'll take our strip that we cut earlier and we'll cut another good sized section, and we'll bend that the same way we bent the other handle. Make sure it's nice and bendy. And then we'll do the same thing we did. There we go. Nice. And we'll glue it on. Put a little hot glue on there. Squish it down. And then put some hot glue on the other side. And squish it down. Okay, now we got our handle. Wow, that's pretty cool. Now all we have to left is to paint it. So before we paint it, I feel like I should add some details. So what if we took a notch out of here, maybe put some welding going across here. Took a couple other notches out, chunks of the shield. So I'll cut those out. Get some nice chunks out of there. Make it look all beat up. Look like it was in battle. So now for the welding right here, we'll just add some hot glue. Okay, so I added some hot glue for welding, battle scar. You can add some if you want around the cracks and gashes in the shield. But then like we're all set. Just gotta let it dry, and then you can paint it. So I finished the shield. As you can see, it looks pretty cool. There goes in a little bit on the sides. This part right here goes into a point. The top goes into a point. This sticks up a little bit right here. I got the bolts. I got this extra piece of metal. I got the welding right there. I added a little bit more, but then I have the notches. And then I also added a piece of cardboard, just a curvy strip onto the bottom. And then here's the back. You can see it's pretty easy to put on. But what would make it even cooler is some spray paint. So I'm going to show you guys how to paint it. I use this silver spray paint often. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. But I normally use that. And then I'm going to show you guys how to dry brush and make it look all cool and all beat up. And we'll see how it turns out. Stay tuned and remember to subscribe.